While the president guides our nation through this war of choice, there is new reporting about his motivations when it comes to our national security and our nation's secrets. MS Now's Carol Leonnig and Jackie Alemany were first to report on a so-called DOJ progress memo in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents investigation. The memo, which is from January of 2023, reveals that special counsel Jack Smith gathered evidence showing Trump may have hoarded classified documents in order to make money. It reads in part, quote, Trump possessed classified documents pertinent to his business interests, establishing a motive for retaining them. MS Now Washington correspondent Jackie Alemany joins us now at the table. She co-hosts The Weekend Saturday and Sunday mornings here on MS Now. Also with us, Brendan Ballou, founder of the Public Integrity Project, is a former federal prosecutor and served with the DOJ National Security Division.
Greetings.
Hey, I was just going to ask you, tell us about your reporting. What's the latest on what you found out?
Yeah, well, this was actually a very interesting, potentially accidental disclosure that was made by Trump's own DOJ. It was being responsive to House and Senate Republicans who have been conducting a counter investigation of Jack Smith, essentially arguing that Smith used investigations into Trump to gather information to then weaponize against Republicans, allegedly. This, though, in the tranche of the latest documents that was provided to Republicans, was included Jack Smith's 2023 progress memo, which essentially was an update on some of the evidence that him and his investigators had collected with regards to the classified documents that Trump had taken to Mar-a-Lago. We still don't know much about the hundreds of documents that were taken, but what Smith found, as Alicia read in that lovely intro, was that a lot of these documents, according to Smith, were related to business interests, and that a potential motivation, although we should note that this was not included ultimately in the indictment that landed against President Trump, was that he was motivated by for taking these documents because of business interests. There was also some other interesting details in there that Susie Wiles was amongst the people on a private jet that Trump showed a classified map to. We had already previously reported, actually, both Carol and I, when we were at the Washington Post, that Trump had a propensity for trying to show off these classified documents to donors and guests at his Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster club. And then there was another interesting tidbit in this progress memo that one of the documents that Trump had taken was so sensitive, part of a special access project document, that only 6 people had the authorization to actually review it. So a lot of interesting tidbits that I think revive a lot of the intrigue and speculation around this case that unfortunately has come to a close because of Eileen Cannon and Donald Trump's pressure campaign.
I have a follow-up question for you, and then one for you, Brendan. But do we know if because I feel like when this was originally reported about the classified documents at the president's estate, that some people I know allege that it was a map of Iran. Do we know what the map was?
No, we do not have any of those details. And this is why I think now you are going to see Democrats double down on trying to pursue more information about this. You had the White House claim today that actually the disclosure of this document meant that they were the most transparent White House and Justice Department in modern American history. But what Eileen Cannon's judgment has called for, essentially, is to forever shelf Jack Smith's report that encapsulated and summarized those findings. I'm not sure if ultimately we would, as the public, would have access to that granular information about what these documents, the countries that they pertain to, and the actual information because of the classification issues around it. So that remains to be seen. But I guarantee you that come November, if Democrats do take back the majority, we're going to see lots of subpoenas and lots of activities around this.